How's it going, everyone? We are coming up on a new week of game releases, and my oh my, you can make a legitimate claim that this is the biggest week of game releases of the entire year in terms of quantity of games, depth, big budget titles, lower key games, and everything in between. We got 10 games to go over. We'll hit everything relatively quickly, so let's get right into it. And let's start things off with a game that's been in the news cycle a little bit recently, to say the least, and that is, of course, Gotham Knights, dropping on October the 21st. Obviously, the news pertaining to the game has not been all that great in the fact that the console version of the game is only going to have a 30 frames per second option, no option for lesser visuals and a higher frame rate. They pointed out the open world being more detailed than ever. They pointed out the fact of the cooperative gameplay. A lot of elements leading to the fact of it being 30 frames per second. I do find it interesting that they canceled the PS4 and Xbox One version. Did something go wrong in development that led to this, and they realized those versions were just going to run at like 6 frames per second or something like that? I don't know. I'm still excited for the game, excited to see how the story plays out. I want to see the interactions between the 4 main characters, and I'm excited to see what the game is going to entail from a narrative standpoint. The gameplay seems pretty good. A lot of different abilities to utilize. You got this action RPG element to it going forward as well. The bat cycle seems to be something that'll make traversal very enjoyable, and then you got gliding and everything like that. It looks like a solid game, but for $70, I do foresee that 60 FPS, the lack of 60 FPS, being something that pushes a lot of people away. Nonetheless, we did also get the positive news of a free-to-play 4-player multiplayer component being added to the game. Remember, the campaign itself is 2 players. A 4-player component will be added in November, and that will be a free update, so that's quite nice. Nonetheless, Gotham Knights will be dropping on October 21st. Next up, another major release, a sequel in A Plague Tale Requiem. Now, if you have not played A Plague Tale Innocence, you best play that before you play A Plague Tale Requiem. It's a direct sequel, and it is going to be telling the story of Amicia and Hugo once again, and you're going to see a very emotional and gripping story play out yet again. We've already got some narrative glimpses, and it seems like this is going to be another dark experience. Embark on a heart-rending journey into a brutal, breathtaking world and discover the cost of saving those you love in a desperate struggle for survival. Strike from the shadows or unleash hell with a variety of weapons, tools, and unearthly powers. It looks like gameplay has gotten a gigantic level up with A Plague Tale Requiem as well, with a variety of different weapons. We'll see how the game ultimately turns out. A Plague Tale Requiem will be dropping Tuesday, October 18th. Remember, A Plague Tale Innocence was a PlayStation Plus title not too long ago. It might already be in your library. The PlayStation 5 version looks and plays great. Go jump on that as soon as possible before you play Requiem. Next up, we have a smaller release here in Inertial Drift. Look, it's a smaller release, but if you're a fan of racing games, definitely one to keep an eye on. It's got a great art style, an arcade racer that tears up the rulebook with innovative twin-stick controls, completely reimagined driving mechanics, and a huge roster of fiercely individual cars and tracks. The game has had a very positive reception on Steam, going back to its September 2020 release, with 463 reviews. 92% of those reviews are positive, and 89 on Metacritic as well, so incredibly well received. Saw a $19.99 price tag on PC, would imagine something similar on consoles as well. Inertial Drift drops on October 20th. Next up, here's a game that we don't have a free upgrade for. It's one of the best received games of the last decade. We have Persona 5 Royal coming to PlayStation 5 and a plethora of other platforms. Look, the fact that there is no free upgrade is an absolute head scratcher. If you already played P5 Royal, probably wouldn't say to drop $60 again on this game unless you're desperate for that PlayStation 5 box, or you're desperate to replay the game for the trophies, or I don't even know what the reasoning would be. Look, Persona 5 Royal is widely considered to be one of the greatest JRPGs of all time. Persona 5 was considered to be widely considered to be one of the greatest JRPGs of all time, and Royal just expanded on that, added a ton more content, and diversified the game even more than it already was. And now you have an upgraded version. I'm happy that it's seeing a release on a plethora of new platforms, and now Persona is going to be opened up to a large audience of consumers. And on top of that, after P5 Royal, we'll get P3 Portable, we'll get Persona 4 Golden in January, so there's a lot to be looking forward to in terms of Persona on various platforms. But for now, you got Persona 5 Royal hitting PS5 on October 21st. Next up, new Tales from the Borderlands coming October 21st. Look, I loved Telltale's Tales from the Borderlands back when it came out. I want to say 2013. It's been quite a long time since that initially came out. It was comedic, it was narrative driven, but it also stayed true to the fundamentals and a lot of the elements that made Borderlands from a narrative and presentation standpoint, and it looks like we're getting that with new Tales from the Borderlands as well. Decide the fates of the altruistic scientist Anu, her ambitious, sweet, wise brother Octavio, and the fierce, frogurt-slinging Fran claw and con your way through 5 thrilling chapters. You'll get the entirety of it right out the gate, and it's at $39.99, a relatively tame price point, all things considered. If you're a fan of narrative-driven titles, definitely want to keep on your radar, especially if you like the comedic and style of Borderlands. I think you'll end up liking this. New Tales from the Borderlands drops October 21st. Next up, we have Batora, Lost Haven. Embark on an epic adventure to save Earth in this interplanetary action RPG. Harness the ancient powers of Sun, Moon to take on a variety of unique enemies while solving diverse puzzles and exploring stunning sci-fi worlds, each with its own curious stories, inhabitants, and mysteries. This is a story-driven game, but it seems to have some pretty interesting tactical gameplay as well. You'll explore a range of unique alien planets and discover a galaxy in which morals are blurred and the line between right and wrong is mercilessly thin. As you explore, you'll need to harness the unique abilities to perfect different combat styles and defeat deadly foes, solve intricate puzzles, and take on quests from curious alien inhabitants. Every choice you make will shape your journey and forge the way you carry out your final mission, restoring your Lost Haven. Batora Lost Haven will be dropping on October the 20th. Next up, here's a popular IP getting its latest video game. Ghostbusters is dropping Spirits Unleashed. This is one that is pretty interesting as an asymmetrical multiplayer title. If you like these kinds of games, we've been seeing a lot of them. We just had Dragon Ball Breakers. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed is a fun multiplayer game, perfect for all skill levels. 4 proton pack wielding Ghostbusters attempt to catch a ghost haunting unique locations in an asymmetrical multiplayer battles, online or offline. As players progress, they will unlock cosmetics and upgrades for both Ghostbusters and Ghosts to evolve their gameplay experiences. The look and feel will deliver to fans of an immersive experience in the universe, allowing them to play out their Ghostbuster fantasies. Whether hunting or haunting, the game is easy to learn and fun to master. The game will be priced at $39.99, and it is dropping on October the 18th. Next up, if you're a fan of side-scrolling action-adventure titles, Warhammer 40k Shootas, Blood, and Teef will be dropping on October 20th. Look, we got a lot of Warhammer 40k titles. This one looks to be one that's relatively accessible. From the developers of the Guns, Gore, and Cannoli franchise comes a new 2D run-and-gun platformer, Warhammer 40k Shootas, Blood, and Teef. Spearhead an orc invasion, destroy the Hive City, and kill your war boss. The game has a stylish presentation that's not, super technically impressive, but I like the color palette to the game, and it looks like a charming game to get into. Over-the-top action gameplay. Warhammer 40k Shootas, Blood, and Teef drops on October the 20th. Next up, we have Them's Fightin Herds. This is one that a lot of people have been looking forward to, especially with its reception on PC. With 2,500 reviews, 94% of those reviews on PC have been positive. This dropped all the way back in April of 2020. Them's Fightin Herds is a 2D fighting game featuring a cast of adorable animals designed by acclaimed cartoon producer Lauren Foss. Beneath the cute and cuddly surface, a serious fighting game does await here as well. Again, very strong reception, streamlined combat, 4-button fighting mechanics, magic system, enhanced super attack, and juggle decay to prevent infinite combos, story mode, and episodic adventure filled with exploration, combat challenges, mini-games, and boss fights, local versus and online cross-play matchmaking, fight opponents offline, or battle across the globe, tutorial and training modes, pixel lobby, dynamic music system as well. Them Fighting Herds will make the transition from PC to its PlayStation 5 and 4 release on October 18th. And lastly, we needed to round out the top 10 with a banger, so why not Gas Station Simulator? Yes, the latest in the simulator style of games, I guess you could say. This came out on PC back in September of 2021. Now will be coming to PlayStation 4 and 5 on October the 20th. Buy an abandoned gas station and restore it to its full glory. Renovate, upgrade, and expand upon the offered services to keep up with your clients' demands. Remember that these games a lot of times are seen as a bit of memes, but, if you're into the sim style games, this is another one to check out. 72 on Metacritic, very positive reception, $19.99 price point. And yeah, Gas Station Simulator will be dropping on Thursday, October 20th. And that's gonna do it for me. Again, a loaded week of game releases this week. Nothing free to play, no free upgrades or anything like that, but a solid roster of big budget games. Gotham Knights, A Plague Tale Requiem, Persona 5 Royal hitting next gen, a New Tales from the Borderlands. Like, those 4 right there are already pretty notable titles, and then you got a lot of smaller games rounding out the lineup as well. One of the stronger weeks of the year thus far. Let us know your thoughts. Are you picking up anything this week? I know a lot of you guys got pushed away from Gotham Knights after the 30 FPS news, but sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.